It's no secret when it comes to Brawl Stars, one of my passions is making and finding accounts that honestly feel like they shouldn't exist. Accounts that seem to defy the rules of Brawl Stars, and my goodness do we have quite a few for you guys here today that I've been compiling for a very long time. 10 or so accounts that I think you guys will find really interesting. I want to start things off very strong here in this episode today. Here in this club, Dark is an account that honestly defies all the laws of Brawl Stars in my opinion. Sitting at the bottom of the club with only 1,000 trophies is an account that has some of the most bizarre stats I've ever seen. If we click on the profile here, this individual has only ever had a highest trophy total of 2,454 trophies, sitting at a modest 1k at the minute. But where things start to get insane is the total wins here in all the categories. 3v3 victories, 25,000. It's pretty astounding. That's like something a seasoned veteran would have, I would say. But then it just starts to get wild when it comes to the solo and duo showdown victories. 63,827 solo victories. How's that even possible, dude? There's a reason why most people don't have very high solo showdown victory totals, because you actually have to win the showdown match. It just doesn't make sense whatsoever seeing the amount of victories and they're only at 2,454. Of course, you could consider the fact that they would be staying low in trophies for the reason of being able to get easier wins, but at the end of the day, it is one of the most astounding accounts I've ever seen. Moving along to the next one here, and I'm not 100% certain if we covered this in a previous video. However, I believe it's been through a few different changes. Here in this club, Easy Wins, there is a ton of insanely bizarre accounts that have took so much effort. For example, in a most recent video, I know we covered this individual here, Destroy, having on his account 1 trophy, which is definitely not an easy task to do here in Brawl Stars. It's hard to even rack my head around 1 trophy being possible whatsoever. Of course it was at a time, and I'm sure in the comments down below you'll be able to see someone explaining how it was possible, but it's so strange. While on top of that, during his account he was able to get 6,294 3v3 victories and 5,280 duo showdown victories without a singular trophy to account for it. And if you scroll throughout this club, you'll see a ton of other people who share the same exact stats, where they definitely could have used like map maker maps. Club League is most definitely a thing that can participate in here to raise up their totals. But even if we know how they're doing this, it's still insane the amount of effort that these individuals are going through in order to get these totals on their account. Like, this dude has 16,000 3v3 victories. The dedication to such a bizarre cursed account is unreal. And it doesn't stop there. There are so many other people like this guy, Tima. Look at all those 3v3 victories without a single trophy to account for. Here as well, 13,000, 0 trophies. There's so many of them. Duo showdown victories, 3,000. This guy's almost got 16,000 without a single trophy. There are so many people that have this on their account. It's insane. I love this club. It's one of my favorite clubs in all of Brawl Stars here, just by the sheer amount of cursed accounts within it. It's such a fun club to take a look at. Moving along to our next account that I found insane here, just the amount of effort that went into it. There is this niche club with only 2 members within it called Washed, and there's an individual here that has an insane account. I got a feeling this is just one individual with 2 different accounts, right, with the similar names going on here. But this #1 spot individual has a power level 1 Shelly that was once pushed to rank 35, and I'm assuming this Shelly was pushed to rank 35 before her buffs. But that's not all. This person also pushed a power level 1 rank 35 Colt on top of that. An insane power level 1 account here, just from the weirdness from all the other brawlers just having these obscure amount of trophies here. It leads me to believe that the majority of this push was within duels, but nevertheless, being able to pull this off as a power level 1 to rank 35s is still insane, no matter what game mode you're doing it in. It's such a cool account, dude. Alright, you guys, this next one requires a little bit of a setup because honestly, this is my favorite account of the entire video here. In a video that we made 12 days ago at the point that I'm recording this video, I finally shared with you all an ongoing project I've been doing here with a cursed account, a mastery cursed account that is at 0 trophies overall on the account that now has silver 1. If you want to dive into how it was even possible in the first place, make sure to check it out for yourselves, but it's safe to say I am infatuated with an account that is sort of like this. It makes for a cursed account that a lot of people will look at and not understand how it's possible, which is honestly the fun of cursed accounts. Well, with that in mind, I ended up coming across an account floating around within the Brawl Stars community that sparked a bit of discussion from others here, and that is an individual within this one member club, just a main. This account, Gus EXE, has one of the coolest achievements I've seen in a long time here. So as you can see, their favorite brawler is Gus, and on further inspection, if you take a look at their Gus, it's power level 11 with 0 trophies. And if you go back to the profile, you'll see that they managed to achieve gold 3 on Gus. They have the lost title that Gus has at the end of his mastery, dude. So seeing that I'm working on an account that is similar to this, you'll understand that I've tried to think of all the different possibilities in order to get mastery points on a 0 trophy brawler. So it didn't take me long to come to the realization on how this is even possible here, but I'm sure a lot of people looking at this would be like, this individual is hacking or doing something bizarre. But of course, seeing that their overall trophies is higher than 4,500, they're able to utilize Power League, which is one of the 3, I guess you could argue 4 ways to get mastery points now in the game. Of course, you can get star player while losing a game, which is still a decent way to get it, even though the points are so small. But still, someone coming across this account would definitely bat an eye at how this is even possible, dude. 0 trophy Gus with the lost title. It's so cool. I love this account, and honestly, I'm thinking about doing something like this as well, utilizing Power League. We'll have to wait and see, but again, one of my favorite accounts of this entire video, if not my favorite. Such a cool account. Moving along to our next account here, and it's honestly very easy to find because the individual is residing in the top #1 club globally, BC Family, and he goes by Zippo here, the 26th spot at the minute. Now, admittedly, when I first came across this account, it was a little bit more bizarre than it is now due to some trophy resets going on here, but the individual, last time I checked over here, had all of his brawlers at rank 29. This person, after the trophy reset or whatever ended up happening to their account before I last saw it, had all rank 29s at 999 trophies, much like this Barley is at right now. There's a few other brawlers here that are at 999 but already achieved the rank 30. But dude, when this account was at that 999 rank 29, all of the brawlers, it was such a feat. It looked so cool. It was some time ago seeing that Hank here is only at rank 23, but dude, such a bizarre account, and still kind of seeing some remnants of that achievement of all the brawlers at 999, seeing that there's quite a few still here. We got Ruffs, Buzz, Ash, Surge, Chester, and you guys get the gist. It was such a cool account and still really bizarre. So moving along here to one I actually just stumbled across recently here in a club called Junk & Co. There's such a bizarre account, really hard to understand what the reasoning is behind it, but here in the second place spot, we have an individual where at face value is bizarre in and of itself, just taking a look at the profile. They have 0 solo showdown victories and 1 duo showdown victory. So throughout all of this individual's playtime here, they only really got their trophies from 3v3s, but the weirdness of this account doesn't stop there. I would deem this to be enough in and of itself, but if you take a look at this person, they push all of their brawlers to incredibly high ranks here, having a lot of rank 35s and other higher ranks, but for some bizarre and unknown reason, this person totally neglected Shelly for some reason. I have no idea why. It just adds another really really weird layer to this already bizarre account. Like, dude, the beginning brawler, the brawler that everyone starts with, they totally just didn't even touch them. I love really weird niche things like this, and honestly, when I first came across it, I was giddy. I was so happy I came across something like this, because you can tell this individual really holds at a high priority pushing their overall trophies. 62,693 trophies is something incredibly hard to get to, so you would assume that they would also want to utilize all of their assets, every brawler to push, but they just don't push Shelly. It's funny. And then to wrap up this video here today, our last few accounts, and the reason I said 10 or so accounts here in this episode is there are a ton of very bizarre accounts that are currently on the top leaderboards. I feel like nowadays you can just go to the brawler leaderboards here no matter what season you're at, and you'll be able to find some individual pushing crazy high trophies on such a bizarre account that it's really hard to come to a conclusion what their motivation is. Like, are they trying to make a cursed account? What are they doing here? Like, for example, the Shelly leaderboard and the Colt leaderboard has some really insane accounts. Just taking, for example, the first person here for the Shellys. Look at this, a somewhat average account, I would say. They have really high trophies, but not a whole lot when it comes to just overall 3v3s, solo, and duo. It's account stats that you would see pretty religiously up here just from somewhat seasoned players here in Brawl Stars. But taking a look at the stats, we have an insanely bizarre push going on here, I would say so myself. Going by rarity, Shelly kind of stands out, but if we go by most trophies, they are grinding certain brawlers here where Shelly is definitely the highest out of all of them. And then some just like are totally neglected, so there's no rhyme or reason, or definitely not an overall trophy push here. But there's just so many other things as well, like why don't they level up this Penny here, a power level 2 Penny at rank 20? I guess they could be free to play, but it's just bizarre. Penny's been in this game forever, and now Cordelia's a newer brawler, power level 11. Like, what is going on with this account? And that's not just me looking for these things. They're just here on the leaderboard, man. Like, look at this person, the 6th place spot for this Shelly account. Look at this. 15 brawlers unlocked. This account was probably made like a month ago, I would say. All these brawlers at 0 trophies, power level 1, but then we have a Shelly at power level 11, the only brawler getting trophies here at almost 1,500. And there's so many other really cool accounts just chilling here on the leaderboard that I'm sure if you guys spent like 15 minutes just sorting through all these brawlers, you'll find some really crazy accounts. Here on the Colt leaderboard, we have this individual in the 3rd place spot with only 20,000 trophies as its highest. And taking a look at the brawlers, we have some crazy stuff going on here. It's so hard to tell what is happening. There are some brawlers just going for crazy high totals, and then others that are totally neglected. Like, look at this. It's like this account was made like a couple months ago, and they prioritized their PowerPoints on certain brawlers, and they just push like crazy on those ones, only those ones. There's a ton of accounts here on the leaderboards that are just like main brawlers, like this person only having a highest trophy total of 8,500, and their Colts almost at 1,500 as well. I have a feeling that the Colts at least are due to Takedown, the newest game mode out here in this update, now returning to the game, where he is insanely good in the game mode and people are pushing him to crazy high trophy totals. But it's just really bizarre to see some of these accounts here on the leaderboards. To wrap things up, I mean, take a look at the Cordelia's leaderboard. We have this person here at literally 1,800 trophies on Cordelia's, and there's Shelly at 1,500. It's like, what is going on? There's some really bizarre people out there, man. I tell you what, it's crazy. But there you have it, everyone. That's just about all I got for you for another episode of sifting through the Brawl Stars community, trying to find those hidden gems of cursed accounts. And by golly, there are quite a few out there, and still some, I'm guessing, that we haven't found that are even more bizarre than the next. And hopefully we'll be able to find those for another video like this in the future. But hopefully you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun, Brawl Stars, and we'll see you all in the next one. Adios and take care.